I'm here with EVP and GM of Revenue Cloud, Meredith Schmidt. Hi Meredith, thanks for joining us in Sydney today.
Thank you so much for having me.
Can you share a little bit about just where you started at Salesforce and
Sure.
a little bit about what's happened along the way?
Yeah, I'd like to say I started as a party of one.
Oh wow.
Yes, so that was over 20 years ago. I was hired to create the revenue recognition team, actually.
Wow.
And I was working for the CFO to really create a revenue recognition playbook on how we negotiate deals.
What are some of the revenue challenges? So whether it was scaling globally, whether it was that we had a bit of a unique way of selling, what are some of those challenges that we had and how did you address those?
Yeah, well, there was a lot of data entry. So it was about capturing that data and telling it what to do. And really this journey of automation where I was like, I need a quote object because we're dropping pieces of paper in a metal lockbox around here. So I'm like, this is not safe. But it was really that journey of scale and how do you automate and scale so you can do more? How do you move it through the cycles and the validations that you need to do? And you can do a lot of that with automation and tools like MuleSoft. And we're using it today now in our finance world. But the other thing is omnichannel, right? And customers today that I talk to have different systems supporting their self-service channel versus their direct sellers versus their partners. And they're trying to manage 3 different catalogs and millions of SKUs in some cases because they're just creating SKUs for every channel. And that's a big challenge we saw at Salesforce, which is central product catalog, a central pricing engine. How do you really truly capture omni-channel revenue with a single nucleus of all your data?
You mentioned a little bit about automation, bringing all these people together. What best practices would you share with our customers here?
Well, with our tools, right, you're enforcing the rules up front in the selling process, so you're not auditing the rules in the back, right? And so it's about what can you do up front with quoting tools, which is what we do build, right, with rules and configure it. You sell this, you can't sell that, but you must sell this, right? That's a lot for a seller to remember. It's a lot for a finance person to have to audit. You don't have to audit that anymore. We set it all up front and let it run.
You can only do it a certain way if
That's
you're allowed
right.
to do this.
Right, so you have to know that life cycle and you have to know where you are at any channel at any point in time. Because what we're seeing too is, we call it channel shifting. I don't know if that's the best term for it, but you may start as a self-service, but you run into an error. I need help. Well, that salesperson can see exactly what was created on the website on the quote object inside Salesforce.
Right.
Or you're collaborating with a partner who's trying to get an extra discount. Well, I can pick up the quote that they already started and you're seeing the exact same thing. And you're seamlessly across every channel.
How do you bring this at scale to an organization?
A seller just wants to talk to the customer more, right? They don't want to spend time creating quotes. So that was really the first thing we tackled. So we've launched recently a quoting agent where literally with one sentence, I can say, please add a generator with a warranty and this consumption pack. And in 30 seconds, your quote is created and it's gone through all those configuration rules. So it's really impactful because that agent is respecting all of the business rules.
And it's designed to almost think like that.
It's
perfect for an agent.
It is. And Salesforce internally has seen the same results. I think 86% less clicks to get a quote done.
Wow.
I mean, at Salesforce, when I was running revenue operations, 95% of our orders were no touch once they were signed by a customer. Straight through. Got invoiced, got comp was calculated, the revenue was recognized, and the service was delivered while you're sleeping. We were just playing with some models the other day where approvals typically, I'm gonna make it up, take 6 hours. Well, all of a sudden, AI, who's just kind of running and observing what's going on, notices that approvals are taking 3 minutes in Australia.
I love that. Now, I want to sort of finish where we started, which is you were placed on the floor to make finance and sales work better together.
Yeah.
You might have listeners here that are CROs, COOs, hopefully some CFOs as well.
Yes.
What's the sort of best way that they can work together?
First of all, recognize that we're all in for the same common goal.
company.
We're all for the same company. That's the shift we can do together, is really partnering. I think Revenue Cloud is what bridges sales and finance together. Because if you set it up correctly, you're not going to get your quote rejected.
It's handoffs, seamless
right?
handoffs.
When I started with Salesforce, I think 60% of the quotes we got were rejected because they were sold wrong or they were missing an approval. And that's really frustrating in sales. And nobody in finance wants to reject a quote. With technology enforcing rules, you've got the approval workflow. You're taking away the frustrating pieces of the process. Finance wants to be a business partner. You hear a revenue prevention team, I'm like, nobody wants to be called that. I think finance has often been pushed to the back office where, especially with revenue, it's where you do bridge.
Incredible journey. Thank you for joining us in Sydney. Thank you for everything you've done at Salesforce, and we're very excited about Revenue Cloud. We're looking forward to Dreamforce
and
what's coming there. Thank you again, really appreciate the time.
Awesome, thank you so much.